Hey everybody, thanks for showing up. You're watching Indie Comics Interviews. And our first interview, this is our first show, our first interview is a special guest. It's Vinnie Tartamella. Now, I want you to watch this all the way to the end because we're actually opening up and showing his comic at the end of this video. So sit through the interview, listen, get to know Vinnie, what he's about, and then look at the artwork in this comic that he has produced, and then you got the links in the description and all kinds of fun things to follow up on. But thank you very much for coming, and on with the show. Hey everybody, I'm talking to Vinnie Tartamella, and his book, City of Venus, Dead City, is already delivered. I haven't opened it yet. I'm going to open it. Not right now, after this interview. But we want to talk about his book, and we're also going to talk about his Halloween book, because I did also get a copy of that. So that one's going to be a while before it delivers. So the unboxing of that you'll have to wait. But, so everybody, this is Vinnie. Vinnie, say hi.
Hey guys, how you doing?
All right. So Vinnie, how long have you been doing comics? How long have you been illustrating comics? What did you get started into that?
I've been a professional comic book artist for, I want to say, maybe close to 15 years now. Before that, I was working in the toy industry. I was a lead designer with McFarlane Toys. I did with Randy Bowen, Marvel and Toy Biz, a couple different places, Diamond Select, some statue designs for them, and
Sweet.
Bus. So yeah.
Sweet. That sounds great. That's a good start. I mean, being in the industry a long time, that's got to be cool. How did you get started? I mean, what made it happen? How did you transition from toys to comics?
Well, it was initially after I worked for Todd, taking some of those other freelance jobs and stuff. I started doing some more conventions. I want to get back to the scene. So here's a fun thing. Like I had sort of an option of which place I wanted to go. So it was going to be either working for Todd or interning at Top Cow. They wanted me, but the thing was there was no pay. And they said at least for the first year there was no pay whatsoever. I had no connection, no family, nothing in California. Never really been there at that point. So I was leaning more towards Todd, since there was a paycheck and I had family in that area. So I'm like, yeah, I might as well. It makes more sense. So after that, after Todd, I went back into comics through the convention circuit. I sent some of my artwork and portfolios out, and I did a bunch of covers for Blue Water Comics. They had done a series of like political books. I did some stuff with that. I ended up doing a cover for Devil's Due Hack and Slash, because I had met the creator at a show. We were hanging out. He loved my work. He wanted me to do something with him. So I had done one of the covers to a crossover he did with the Reanimator series. So I did a cover, Joe Jusko did a cover, and I forgot who the other guy was. But so yeah, that was pretty cool. And then I ended up doing another cover for him when it went over to Image. Yeah, I've been wanting to go back into comics with my own stuff, seeing how the industry's going, seeing how the convention scene has changed as well. I've been getting a lot of fan base from those shows I've been doing around the country. I did mostly East Coast, Chicago, New York Comic Con. I was there for like, I don't know, 6 or 7 years in a row. And it was pretty cool because a lot of people had no idea who I was. And I was bringing in fans just as well as anyone who was working at Marvel or DC. I actually, all right, I'm kind of jumping around, but I was supposed to work. I was supposed to work on Spider-Man Marvel Knights, and 2 weeks before I signed the contract, I got screwed out of it by the editor in chief at the time, which was Joe Quesada. He put one of his friends on the book instead. 2 weeks before I signed the contract. So that's when I was really deciding what to do regarding my comic book work, because I know I had the talent for it. Almost getting that job, I mean, it makes no sense why they just decided not to have me on it, but he wanted to pick his favorites. He put his friend on the book instead. my editor told me at the time, he said, I'm not going to BS you. I was like, wow. So there's always forms of nepotism and that kind of thing in there. So I actually started doing some work for Hollywood. So I was doing like storyboards, concept artwork. I'm still currently doing stuff like that. That's kind of like, you know, the day job. So,
Ah,
um, but
that day job.
yeah, as my actual comic books are starting to take off more and more, I could push some of that side work more away and focus more on these books, and that's kind of what the ultimate goal is just to do my own stuff where I don't have to really, um, you know, look for that freelance work anymore.
Right.
Yeah, you want to be able to survive off of your own stuff.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely. So now, what is the process that you had behind the City of Venus? You said you wrote it, you drew it yourself. Like,
Yeah.
where did the idea come from? How did it come to life?
Well, the initial idea came to me like right after I graduated high school. Uh, like I had the seeds of it were planted from back then. So I was hearing about like this new world order, that kind of thing of these ultra elite people that they're hidden from everything, but they're the ones calling the shots, and it's up to them if they want to introduce a new virus into the world or like bird flu or something like that. It's almost like borderline conspiracy theories as well. But I'm going, well, what if there were a group like that? What's the extreme? What's the ultimate goal? What would they want? So in my head, I figured, well, they'd want to separate themselves. They think they're above anyone anyway. So that's why I decided, oh, okay, it's easy. They're gonna separate themselves totally. They're gonna be in this floating city in the sky, and they don't care what happens underneath them. So they'll start wars, they'll hurt people, whatever. It doesn't matter. If something benefits them, they're happy with it. So this story takes place so far into the future. It's pretty much they're away from everyone, and the rest of the world went to shit. you know.
That
So
no, that is very cool. I kind of I like the idea a lot. I'm into sci-fi and futurism and horror comics, so this
mhm,
kind of like right up my alley. Um,
yeah,
the thing that I thought was really cool was the whole floating city that you can't ever get to. You know what I
yeah,
mean? It's like you can see it there. You can you you see it, you're aware of it,
right.
and you're constantly reminded about it. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So it's almost like a weight on your shoulders, like a pressing down on you,
Yeah.
forcing you to have a chip on your shoulder about it. It's just
Well, and that's what happened with the series. It evolved so much from my initial concepts of it, because I was gonna have more of like a society that was gonna be around, but I decided to make it even more bleak. So, because I've been working on things here and there in between other projects throughout the years. But for this story, when I actually sat down and I wrote out what I wanted to do, I started doing more of the concepts and developing the world and setting like the rules of the world. It formed more of itself. So that's when I started putting in the whole idea of, well, there is no technology. The only technology is the floating city, and the whole idea of like a city being built on top of a city. So like all the wars that have happened throughout the years, maybe there was one big one that really took out everything. So kind of like Chicago, like in the 20s and all that, they've had fires and other problems. They just built on top of pre-existing structures. So I
yeah,
kind of did that with my story, but again, the extreme, let's say over centuries.
right,
So what I have basically is um, the people who are still alive. They're the scavengers. They're hidden below everything. They're not out on the surface. So if you see like these monsters and things, they're actually people who were failed experiments. So I have like the ones in the floating city. They'll still send out like units if there's anything going on. If there is some signs of technology, if there's destruction or something happens, they send out a unit to pick up and clean up, and they want to grab the scavengers. Because ultimately, what do people in power want more of? If they can't have any more power, they want their lives to be prolonged. That's the main goal. They want to live forever.
yeah,
So they're going to grab scavengers and they try to test. They do the experiments on them, and they're pretty much all failed experiments. So they throw them back down onto the surface, and that's why you see these people who look mutated or like zombies. Or I'm going to have other surprises. I don't want to give away yet, but there's going to be more messed up versions of those kind of people. Well, I'll leave it at that.
It sounds very. I mean, I it's hard not to like open it before I'm ready to shoot the video, and I mean, I mean, as soon as it came, I wanted to rip it open and start reading, but
Right.
discipline. Okay, my next question here. So, what are your plans for the story next? Not like what's going to happen in the story after this one, because I haven't read this one yet, obviously. But like after your campaign is done, are you going to circulate it at the cons? Are you going to try and get it into the commercial market?
Yeah, I mean possibly. Because right now I have a few projects that I've been doing. Even the previous campaigns, I'm trying to build more of like a library. With me and my company, Mela Art World. Because I want to have like a brand, pretty much. So it's a world
Well,
of different.
you want to call it
I'm sorry.
Mela as part of your name, right?
Yeah.
Mela Art World, is it?
Right. Yeah. You'll see the logo. It's the mug that's on the cover.
Ah,
Um,
I
yeah.
saw the graphic there. I couldn't read it on the in the window on the Indiegogo. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. No problem. Yeah. I pretty much I've been plastering it
Oh, you know
everywhere.
what? Now that you say it's Mela, I have I have vision issues. I see that now. I have it open on a bigger screen, and because I usually the one that the computer. I'm gonna have to make a cut on this interview because I just like stumbled myself. But but
Oh,
the computer I'm using is the one that I usually use for when I'm doing Indiegogo because I'm it's my laptop, and then my work computer where I do programming has much bigger monitors, and because I'm working with finer print,
right.
and and that's where I have it open on right now. And yeah, I can totally see that's an Mella. It's like, I obviously, it makes a difference when when you're an old man with bad eyesight. Okay, back to the interview. So
Sure.
what happens next? You're working on your library.
Yeah, so I want to have a little bit of something for everyone. So that's why even my current campaign is the kids' book, A Ghostly Manor on Howling Hill. So I have action. I have the kind of ghost horror story, which is Through the Woods. My brother also, like, we have a couple of projects we developed together, and I have a couple that I still aside from City of Venus that I'm doing by myself as well. So. There's a lot of creativity happening, a lot of cool stories happening. But yeah, right now I'm trying to grow more of the audience, even the Indiegogo audience, Twitter, all that stuff.
Right.
Um, so yeah, it's just about getting numbers right now, and pushing good product. So after that, as long as I could say I have something that will, like City of Venus, it pulled in 10K. I mean, that's nothing to laugh at. Those are good numbers. Those are solid numbers, you know.
10K
So,
10K for what you said? What is it? 250 books? Is that what you said?
yeah, about yeah,
That's nothing to shake a stick at. That's a good turnaround. That's a really good turnaround.
yeah.
I I mean that's a high number per book. So
No, I'm very, very, very grateful to the backers. I mean, anyone who ever sees me at a show, there's a reason why I have a crowd of people around my table. 9 times out of 10, it's because I'm good with people. I treat everyone well. You come to my table, I'm going to treat you like family. As long as you're good, I'm good to you. And yeah, I'm always cool. I'm happy to talk with anyone. Um, if you see people who need a little extra help too, or they're down on their luck, yeah, don't be afraid to reach out. Make their day. You don't know. Everyone has a story, so that's why I always come from a good place, no matter what I'm doing. I think that's why more people who see me and they get to talk to me and they know it. I think that also helps a lot with these campaigns because there's a personal touch. Marvel and DC don't have that.
yeah.
A lot of those people do not have that, and a lot of them are very egotistical, and you don't need that. This is supposed to be a fun, creative thing for everyone, entertainment, escapism, and like the big companies forget that. I'm trying to bring that
Yeah,
back. That's the
for
one
sure.
thing that I love about Comicsgate and the friends that I've made through it. From creators to fans, backers, you name it, man. I think it's a good thing, a very good thing.
So how long have you been doing the Indiegogo thing? Well, you said your first campaign was like 7 months now. You've been doing that, you said?
Yeah, I've been doing it for about 7 months now, and like I said, I'm still very new to it. So even the first campaign, like I know I have a lot of followers on like DeviantArt, on Facebook, on these different places, and I thought like my numbers would come from them. It really hasn't. My numbers have been coming from Twitter and from YouTube and all the cross promotion between all the friends. So like when I started my first campaign, I think I only had about maybe 150 followers on Twitter because I never really used it. I've had it for years, but I'd sporadically put something up just to keep the account kind of alive. And then when I found out that's pretty much the main place where people do it through, I stuck with it, and I think I'm getting closer to 900 followers now.
That's good.
From like 150. That's pretty damn amazing. You know.
It is. It's pretty decent. I mean, 150 to and how long you say? Like, you said 5 6 months.
Yeah, something like that. About.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah, so like even the first campaign, again, I knew nothing about crowdfunding. I heard bad information, so I set my prices way too high, which was a gigantic mistake. But you learn from those things. And the beauty about it is, though, with the money I did make, I was able to fulfill my backers, and I told them that if you buy my books, you will get your book no matter what, and that's what happened. So out of the gate, I released a 3-issue miniseries. I did them in floppies because I know a lot of people still they like the collecting aspect of it.
Hmm.
So I did them like that. Um, it wasn't easy. I'll tell you that right now. It was not easy to do 3 books right out of the gate. It was 88 pages worth of work, 88 pages altogether.
Yeah.
So, but
And
yeah, the people
how long does it take you to, like, say, do a page on average?
on average, I'd, I'd say around maybe a page a week. But towards the end, though, every time I was finishing a campaign, I did about 2 pages a week, and that's pencil, ink, digital paints, lettering. I did everything.
Right. Yeah, that is a lot. I mean, I definitely understand. I mean, 2 pages a week, including colors and lettering.
Yep,
That's that's fairly that's pretty good pace. I mean, that's industry pace.
yep,
You know, what do they say? I mean, you expect what, like, 3 pages a week out of on as what's considered industry pace. So and that's just for like a penciler slash inker. Not for somebody who's going to do colors and, like, I'm yeah. I don't want to start talking about my book, so I was
yeah.
gonna. I almost started having a real conversation, not an interview. So
Hey,
the
that's what it should be anyway. A real
yeah.
conversation.
Right. Well, no one wants to hear what I think right now. They want to hear about you at this moment, and people who are tuned in anyway.
Oh,
Um,
you're too kind.
so I'm excited to read the book. Now let's talk about your Halloween book. I actually back both of these, so I'm excited for both of them. The Halloween book. Now, okay, I'm not a kid, but when I was a kid, my favorite kind of books, favorite kind of cartoons was at Halloween time.
Yep.
But it was my absolute favorite. I mean, I still will, like, if like, say, the Disney Halloween special came on, I would probably be glued to the set before I even realized I was spending half an hour watching it. It's something about that always
Yeah.
got me as a kid.
It's
So
it's it's so much fun.
yeah, so, I mean, I'm just that's what I'm communicating. It's like and your book captures that fun, um, uh, aspect, but it's more than fun. I mean, it's cute. It's fun. It's cute. It's and it's excellent artwork. There's another word in my mind that I'm trying to pull out. It's not coming, but
Yeah. Hey, I really really appreciate that. I do because even that book, I changed up my style to go more Disney, more cartoonish with it. Because yeah, it is a very very sweet story. Yeah, obviously it's for kids. I'd say anywhere from 4 years old to 100 years old, whatever. It's fun for everyone. It's a very simple story, but there's a nice little message for kids to understand. But at the same time too, it's for anybody who loves like those classic monsters and they want to see like those kind of cartoony versions of them. So my brother, he came up with the initial idea. He's the writer of that book. My brother's name is Frankie. He came up with it, and we kind of developed the characters together. We bounced it back and forth, and then I came up with these designs and the style, the look, everything, And it was just like that's perfect. That's like when it works, it works. So yeah, so this story actually, when he made it, it was around 2007 when he came up with it.
Wow.
And then a couple of years later, I did some of the initial artwork for it. We let it sit for a little bit because I was very busy with other stuff. Then when I went back to it, I said, you know what? I'm going to clean this up. I'm going to fix it up. And I went over all the artwork. I made sure the line work was way better on it. The colors were right. Everything was good. Yeah, we were very happy with it. So we decided let's give it a shot. And we did a very small run just for Halloween time, just to give out to some friends and family. A couple conventions I went to. Nothing big. It was super small scale. But yeah, after finding out how Comicsgate works and how crowdfunding is, I said, you know what, Halloween's coming up. Yeah, it's ambitious for a lot of other people as well. Like you just finished a huge campaign. You're still in the middle of sending out books. I'm like, yeah, but I think this is the perfect time, and I'm guaranteeing that it's going to get to backers before Halloween.
Right.
So as soon as this thing is done, I am printing, mailing it out. So people
Yeah.
should be getting it, about a week before Halloween is what I'm aiming for. And yeah, it's all done. So I don't think there's any real wait.
Any plans for the book after the campaign is over? Like maybe hardcover version,
Oh
bookstore?
yeah, yeah,
That?
yeah, possibly for sure. Again, it's I think it's a good thing to get numbers up. So if you do want to go to bookstores, you want to go to different companies, you want to push it, you have numbers behind you that I think it'll help for sure. You
Well,
know.
I'm that book is the artwork is impressive, and children's books are a dime a dozen, but not that look like that. I think that you would be able to get
Thank
that
you.
one
Thank you.
accepted
And,
quickly.
and here's the thing too. We came up with this whole concept, this whole idea, long before Pixar, those other animated places went near it. We
Right.
came up with it first, so that's what I'm proud of, and no one can take that from us. I don't care what anyone says. We did it first.
That's always a good bragging point. It's like I
Right.
had that idea first. You very. Oh man. So what's next? What's the next book coming out after the
Um,
one? You got to have
well,
another story lined up.
yeah, oh, definitely. Well, for this year, yeah, Ghostly Manor on Howling Hill, it'll be the last one for 2019. So that'll be a total of 7 books I got out this year, plus a sketchbook or like an ash can. So for 2020, I think the very first campaign I'm going to be launching is going to be the re-release or the collected edition of Through the Woods, because as these campaigns have been doing better, a lot of people they're looking back and going, "You had another campaign?" Like they're just discovering it, and they're upset that they missed out on it. So
Right.
I'm going to make it available for everyone in a graphic novel format. Probably new some. I'm hoping to do some new content for it, but at least a new cover for sure. And yeah, that'll be the first campaign, and then I'm actually currently working on even before I launched City of Venus, a pirate story, and I'm very excited about that one.
That sounds
This
good. That's something I haven't seen too frequently. That's
right, and I've always been a huge fan of that kind of stuff. So I've been working very hard on it. Only a handful of people have seen some pages. I think I've teased it once or twice months ago. Um, Somebody found it on Twitter like about a month and a half ago, and they go, "Yeah, whatever you put on Twitter, it's there forever, or the internet's forever." So I'm like, "Yeah, no, I don't mind." But Yeah, no, that's gonna be, I think, my next big campaign after the re-release of Through the Woods, and then I'll go back on City of Venus, and make sure to get issue 2 going, because everything that from here on out, I want to do a minimum of 40 pages, a minimum. You know, the part 1, I'm aiming to maybe around like 45, 46 pages, and somewhere in that bracket, because I upped it. Since these
Right.
campaigns have been doing better and more people want more content, I'd rather give them a nicer story all in one shot. And this has been like one of my passion projects for sure. Developing that world again, aside from everything else, it's a lot of work, but I think it's worth it once people start to see it.
Well, the work you're putting out looks amazing. I can't wait to open my package and read it. That might actually happen later tonight.
Awesome.
Just because I'm going to be really impatient and we got this interview done, so I'm like, oh, I can open it now. You know.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna do it during the interview.
Want me to? I could. I was planning a separate video of it, but
it's
I
your
could.
call. It's your call.
All right, let's. I will. You know what we're gonna do? I'm gonna let's wrap up the actual interview point, and then I'll announce in that we're going to do this. So, and then I will do another video off this same stream where I unbox this in front of the actual illustrator who did it. That's something that probably will not happen with other authors. They'll be like, no, don't open it in front of me. All right. No, I wouldn't be.
I don't. Yeah, I don't mind at all.
All right. All right. So anybody, if you have not seen City of Venus, and you go back get yourself a copy before it is gone forever. And everybody, if you don't follow Vinnie, you need to follow him on Twitter, follow him on YouTube, follow him around the city if you live there. No, I'm kidding. He probably won't like that. But hey, Vinnie, thank you so much for the interview, and
Pleasure.
We'll be talking again soon. All right, everybody. Okay, we're gonna do something different. It's probably the only time we're gonna be able to pull this off, but we're going to do the unboxing of the City of Venus Dead City book by Vinnie Tartamella, the very talented and let me tell you, his brother thinks he's the most handsome man in the world. Let me just say.
Oh man, you're hilarious.
All right, we got this here. It's very well taped. Don't want to tear the book, so we're gonna. It's in a nice. Looks like it was well protected, even though it got a little hit on the corner. But that's not Vinnie's fault. It is not Vinnie's fault. It is totally the UPS. Let's see if he packed it well enough to protect it from that. We're assuming that he did. We know he meant to.
I'm hoping so. I had a couple of helpers.
All right, we got this open. Someone's going to ask. Yeah, the knife, it is a skull.
Oh, that's awesome. So I have a friend who actually designs knives.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's a cool guy.
I collect them. My stepfather started giving them to me a few years back, and now I have a huge collection. It did not get damaged, just a little tweaked on the corner. I don't know if you can see. Let's see here, just a little tweaked, but that is not damage. That is just tweaking, which can be easily flattened out.
Yeah.
So we're good.
Backward.
Yeah, we are good. This looks pretty, man. Look at that. Look, can you? Look at that. Look at that. You guys see that? That is some crisp artwork. That is crisp.
Thanks, man.
That is crisp. Okay, we are opening this up, and we're gonna get our oily fingers all over this book.
Well, luckily I did a gloss laminated finish on it, so you could just wipe it as well. It'd be good as new.
Look at that. You got a nice reflection on that. You don't get that on a staple stitch ever.
Nope.
That's awesome. That's a thick cover too. What is the weight on that?
130 pounds.
130 pounds. Big old number 1. Ah, that's a nice drawing, man.
Thanks, man.
That is some sweet work right there.
Yeah, I always like the old Wolverine books. They have like a cool gallery on the back of every issue. So when you got a whole bunch of them, yeah, it's something really cool and special. So I that's kind of what I went for.
And then there's the logo.
Yep, Mela Art World.
You'd be watching for that logo because you can guarantee it's going to be coming with some good artwork. I tell you that. All right, we're gonna give a little bit of a tease to the readers, but we're not going the viewers, but we're not gonna let them see too much here. They gotta buy their own book if they can.
That's right.
Um, see here, this is created and written by Vincent Tartamella, story and art, and then all your little plugs in there. That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
This is nice work. This is just rich. I don't. Well, this is rich.
Thanks, man. It's a lot of work I put into this.
The printer is nice too. I could tell. This is standard size, right? So this is
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Usually printers that do this kind of they're usually trying to get you to do more of a standard page size, not a comic book
Yeah.
page size.
Yeah, no, these guys they hit it out of the park. I love the quality. The pages are nice and thick as well. Way thicker than your standard Marvel or DC book.
Yeah, and it's this is graphic novel thickness for sure. This is not
Yeah. I think all fans, backers, they deserve the highest quality. That's what I wanted to give.
Definitely. This is you did not try to save any money on making the book. That's for sure. This is excellent. That's beautiful. I gotta show this. This is look at that. That is awesome. Look at that spaceship right there. Look at the detail. Look, you see a little light detail going on in that city up there? That is great work, man.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh, this is cool. I can't wait to read this tonight. How many pages is this? This is what?
Well, front cover to back cover is 32, but I added a couple of bonus stuff in the back, sketches, layouts.
Yeah, the sketches. This is nice. Yeah. Hey, if you guys do not have this, compared line work to that's nice.
Yep.
This is just beautiful. And then back page pitching. Excellent.
Yep.
Excellent.
Through the Woods, my art books, kid book.
This is impressive, Vinnie. I tell you, I can't wait to read this as soon as we go. I'm going to be reading that, so because I want to get that absorbed. It's great that we got to have you here for that opening, man. That's going to probably be the only time that gets to happen. So,
well, hey, I appreciate it. That's a cool thing.
At least it didn't get damaged, right?
Yeah, I'm very happy.
Everybody, let's thank Vinnie again for showing up to be part of the unboxing, and thank you for watching. Hey everybody, thank you so much for tuning in and watching this. Vinnie was a great guest. It was a great first show. His comic book looks amazing. Hey, in the description below, there are links to where you can find him and stuff he's doing right now. If you do not mind, can you please take a moment and like this video and subscribe to this channel and watch more episodes of the Indie Comics interviews. The next up is Macho Dano and his book Hero. I think you're going to dig it. It looks pretty cool. Talk to you soon. Bye.